The Amazing World of Gumball, for some reason, doesn't pop up immediately in a lot of people's heads, cartoon fans or otherwise. It is criminal. When someone hears the phrase, New Generation Cartoon Network, 9 times out of 10, the first things that come to mind are Adventure Time, Regular Show, Steven Universe, Rick and Morty, Teen Titans Go, to which I ask those people what the hell is wrong with you, nudge nudge wink wink, and the remaining 1 out of 10 will think of Gumball. And this personally surprises me because Gumball is amazing. And no, that wasn't in any way meant to be redundant. There's just something for everyone here. If you're not watching it for the top-notch comedy, then it's probably for the creative and colorful cast of characters. If you're not watching it for the heartwarming dynamic amongst the leading family, then you're watching it for its art style, which is no doubt one of the best in any recent cartoon. It's a mishmash of multiple individual styles that seamlessly come together, and even complement each other, as opposed to clashing, kinda like how 2 separate pieces of clothing are strikingly different in color. It simply is a solid show that is sadly overshadowed by its peers far too often. Sure, the community is active, and you see a good amount of fan art across the internet, and unsurprisingly the show is very popular in Japan, surpassing longtime local favorite Tom and Jerry in viewership in Cartoon Network of Japan. But in comparison to the other shows I said, the level of attention it gets is, well, small. Now, the idea for this show has existed for as long as 7 years. Cartoon Network Studios Europe has had the concept on the drawing board since 2009, with former in-house development artist Ben Bocalé taking the reins as the series creator. The first draft of this show was vastly different from the final product, with the characters intended to be rejects from television commercials coming together in a rehab facility. A little bit on the dark side for something aimed at a very young demographic, that's for sure. But as fascinating as it would have been to see that concept realized, it means that we wouldn't get the marvel of a show that we have right now. The Amazing World of Gumball officially premiered on May of 2011 and comes in at 140 11-minute-long episodes so far, spread out over the course of 4 seasons. The 4th season is still ongoing, and the 5th one has been greenlit and is just around the corner. In anticipation for this upcoming 5th season, I've taken it upon myself to compile my personal top 10 best episodes of Gumball. Yes, you heard right, this is another top 10 list, which is always fun to make. So let's not waste any more time and get down to the nitty-gritty. Coming in at number 10 is the Meddler from Season 1. Nicole Watterson is awesome. She embodies everything that a mother is and everything that a mother should be. She doesn't take crap from anyone, is always the first one in the family to put her foot down, and her temper is about as long as a toothpick. But underneath her short-fused exterior, she's a doting mother who cares deeply for her airhead husband and her 3 children, even though they grate on her nerves on more than one occasion. The perfect blend of surrealism and believability. And she's also freakishly agile. God damn, that woman can move. But like any mother out there, she can get a little too carried away with her responsibilities. Case in point, the Meddler. After failing to give Gumball the attention and care he wants, Nicole opts to make up for it by being in every part of her eldest son's life. And I mean every single part. No, I am not kidding.
Maybe you need to talk with your mouth shut.
Is that really the way you talk to girls?
Mom, what are you doing here?
Well, you said you wanted more attention, so I followed you to school. But by the looks of it, you need more than attention. You need serious help, little man.
She accompanies Gumball at school for 1 day, which can only go so well, and it doesn't take long for things to come full circle. I have a soft spot for episodes like this. The family dynamic between the Wattersons is one of my favorite aspects of this show. As chaotic as they are on the surface, they're still very close-knit. You mess with one Watterson, you mess with all of them, and may God have mercy on your soul. As far as this episode goes, Nicole obviously has the best intentions for her son in mind, but the best intentions don't always mean the most rational of thoughts. Coddle your child too much and you risk alienating them. Not so funny for Gumball, but it sure as hell is for those of us watching at home. And who could forget Gumball's epic cheerleader tryout at the climax? The Meddler is a nice outing for the Watterson family, with a feel-good payoff at the end. It's definitely a good entry point for anyone getting into the series. One thing I don't like about this episode, Richard is a total dick.
Hey, honey, how was work? Is dinner ready yet?
Richard, I think Gumball needs some attention. Maybe you should go and play catch.
Yeah. We're all very proud of you, Nicole.
You ungrateful son of a bitch. Oh, sorry. Next! Number 9 is the kids from Season 3. When Season 3 rolled around the corner, Gumball's and Darwin's respective voice actors, Logan Grove and Kwesi Boyake, had just reached adolescence. There were early speculations amongst the fandom that the series would go down the route that Adventure Time went, and keep Logan and Kwesi, and as a result show Gumball and Darwin maturing on numerous levels, be it physically, mentally, emotionally, morally, and so on and so forth. I thought it would have been an interesting if not bold decision, but it just wasn't meant to be. The crew needed our beloved blue cat and his pet goldfish turned brother not sound a day over 13, and so they've gotten 2 pitch-perfect replacements to take the mantle. Jacob Hopkins as Gumball, and Terrell Ransom Jr. as Darwin. As you'd expect, the fandom has imploded from the announcement. Everyone's going, yeah, I hate change, I hate it. Everything should stay just as they are. That's it. I'm jumping ship, you sons of bitches. To which I facepalm so hard that one of my teeth accidentally comes loose. I've already been through this on my Powerpuff Girls 2016 review. Please don't make me go through it again. It's just not worth the headache, and it's a monumental waste of everybody's time. But that's enough pissing and moaning on all our parts. With the originals leaving, what better way to send them off? This episode, what else? It opens with a salutation to Logan and Kwesi that is nothing short of apropos, and then...
I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, dude, I've been 12 for like... forever now.
I think we can safely say that we'll be young forever and never change.
Dude, are you...
What's happening?
I think...
So, in Elmore, when puberty hits, your vocal cords turn into a sound mixer? That is sick! Gumball and Darwin eventually realize the fact that they're growing up, and their changing voices are the first of many signs to come. Still, they refuse to accept this and firmly believe that they're still kids. No, not the whole kids at heart thing, as in legit kids. Their attempts prove futile, and the only ones they're fooling are themselves. They come to terms with their impending adolescence, and suddenly...
We could drive, go to college, and we both go crazy.
What was that? Dude, what's going on? I sound even younger than before.
That's it. That means we're in the 1% of people who never grow old.
Yay! We'll be kids forever!
We got what we wanted!
We're stuck in these bodies for the rest of our lives!
And exit stage left for Logan Grove and Kwesi Boyake. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Jacob Hopkins and Terrell Ransom Jr. I can't think of any other way to send off the old and usher in the new. This was a great episode from start to finish, with laugh-out-loud hilarious moments all the way. It's an excellent tribute and an excellent welcome for the 2 new faces, all rolled in one. But who knows? This might not be the end for Logan and Kwesi. Maybe someday we'll hear them again in a future episode. One can only dream. Number 8 on this list is the tape from Season 2. I have a profound respect for the willingness to experiment. The results may not always be received with unanimous warmth, but you have to admire an ambitious approach no matter what. You have to give credit to anyone who's trying something new for... well, trying something new. It goes to show that they're not afraid to take risks and to improve their craft. On that note, we have the tape, one of Gumball's most unique and arbitrary episodes, up there with the likes of The World, The Extras, and The Butterfly. This one is just non-stop fun. It starts with Gumball and Darwin putting together a home movie, and what starts off as a cute little endeavor gradually unfolds into a very satisfying Shaggy Dog story. That is one hell of a paradox. I don't even know where to begin with that. With an episode such as this, it's hard to pinpoint as to what makes it so good. It's probably why it's not higher up on my list. Yeah, it's something we haven't seen from the show before. It's fresh and comes from out of nowhere. There's no plot to speak of at all, but the phenomenal meta-sense more than makes up for it. And it gives us moments of self-awareness, like this one.
Introducing all my other friends in the amazing world of...
Forget it, who's gonna watch that?
I don't know, Gumball. I'm a grown-ass man, yet I watch your show, and have a hell of a good time all the time. Does that count for anything? A bit of tidbit for anyone who doesn't know this, but a few of these vignettes have actually been shown before. Not necessarily on the show, but the tie-in YouTube channel Elmore Stream. Strangely enough, that channel hasn't had a new video in a year now, which is odd because I personally enjoy the content that's available there. This is just an ambitious episode through and through, and it was a risk well worth taking. Given the ingenuity of the concept, one can only think of what other ingenuous concepts we'll find later down the road. Number 7 is The Treasure from Season 2. Continuing with the exploration of the Watterson family dynamic, this one is an adventure in its purest, rawest form. The Watterson kids catch wind of treasure kept hidden by the family for so many years and seek it out. Well, it's mostly Anais who wants it, but she does coerce her brothers into helping her. There, that's about as best a synopsis as I can make for this episode. Honestly though, that's all it really needs. And what we get from it is a nicely paced adventure that covers a substantial amount of backstory for the Wattersons. Not the most complex backstory ever told, but it's satisfying and fills up any gaping holes regarding the family. Same thing with the mystery of what the treasure is. It doesn't try to make itself needlessly convoluted with layers upon layers of plot devices, but it's nevertheless fun to guess every step of the way, and it'll keep you at the edge of your seat. And the fact that a lot of the shots are well done doesn't hurt either. I guess when it really boils down to it, the reason why I put this episode here on this list is less for its ideas and more for its execution, which isn't always a bad thing. There is one joke, however, that'll no doubt stick out for animation nuts, like myself. It's part of the ongoing plot thread throughout this episode that the Watterson family is flat broke, which is odd given that in the past they seem to be financially stable. A bit inconsistent there, you guys, but Anyway, since the Wattersons are so cheap, they can't afford anything high-end, and this extends to their DVDs. One of them has the title How to Ratatouille Your Panda, a reference to the Brazilian studio Video Brinquedo and their laundry list of knockoffs of high-budget animated feature films. That is a nifty Easter egg. Let's just pray that those guys over there at Brinquedo don't file a lawsuit on Cartoon Network's asses. All of this, of course, leads up to a payoff that is nothing short of heartwarming.
That star might not even be there anymore, but its light travels through time and space for millions of years. It's immaterial, and yet it still exists.
Kinda like love.
So in a way, the star is a symbol of our family's love.
And it'll always be there. Forever.
I said nothing short of heartwarming. Don't let the awkwardness get to you, damn it! Number 6 on the list, The Joy from Season 3. You want horror done right? You got it. Don't let that name fool you. This is one of Gumball's darkest episodes so far. Before the start of another school day, Richard gives Gumball and Darwin one of his famous feel-good hugs. The problem is, the happiness that these hugs spread is contagious. As in, they really are contagious. Like a disease. And wouldn't you know it, it behaves much like a disease in this episode and rapidly develops into an outbreak that seizes all of Elmer Junior High, infecting students and faculty alike, in the same vein as Resident Evil. It's up to an unlikely hero to put an end to this madness. An unlikely hero with a perpetually sour temperament. An unlikely hero you can count on to dampen any person's good mood. An unlikely hero named Miss Lucy Simeon. When a horror show or movie legitimately scares you, it did a good job. When it barely makes you jump out of your seat, it is ass with a capital ASS. Everything you know and love about the horror genre is right here in this simple little package. This is one terrifying atmosphere, let me tell you. The entire school has been reduced into a darkened hellhole, subjugated by an overwhelmingly, poisonously optimistic perspective that eschews rational judgment of any kind. Hold on, let me write all this down. You will not find a single scene here that slows things down to a crawl. The tension in this episode is real, both for the audience and for Miss Simeon, despite the bizarre premise it's built on. And the music. By God, the music.
No, stop that. No, don't do that. Let's give them no familiarities. No, step back. No. There's no other way.
It's basically beating into your head the fact that you're experiencing nothing but absolute terror. Once in a while, Simeon will record her experience via camcorder a la Cloverfield. Even quiet scenes such as these are still nerve-wracking, and damn it, is it good. Well shot, well paced, well voiced, a surreal idea that doesn't undermine the general scare factor of the episode. What more do you want? And come on, Ben, you had a chance to throw in one of the most famous lines in any horror flick. Just one more line. This was the perfect opportunity for that. If there was ever any episode to throw that line in, it was this one, and you missed it. You all know what I'm talking about.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Yep, that's right. Game over, man. Game over.